Geoffrey Chaucer's life is mostly known through historical documents and some personal remarks in his poems. He was likely born in 1340 in London. He began his career in the household of the Duke of Clarence's wife in 1357 and later served in the military abroad, where he was captured. Afterward, he joined the royal household, receiving pensions and favors from the king, particularly when Richard II took the throne in 1377. Chaucer was also involved in diplomatic missions, including a trip to Italy in 1378. Though he faced financial struggles, likely due to his patron John of Gaunt leaving for Spain in 1386, he experienced a resurgence of prosperity later in life. He holds the distinction of being the first poet laid to rest in what is now known as Poets' Corner in Westminster Abbey. Chaucer's poems can be divided into three stages: the French, Italian, and English, with each stage showing different influences. The earliest French influenced poems imitate French styles and are considered clumsy and immature. The longest of these is the Roman of the Rose, based on a French work. Other poems from this period include the Book of Duchess, written in 1369, the Complaint unto Pitt, and ABC, and the Complaint of Mars. In the Italian influence stage, Chaucer's skill improves. Works like Annelida and Arcade and the Parliament of Fowls demonstrate technical advancement and originality. Troilus and Cresside, adapted from Boccaccio, showcases Chaucer's depth in character portrayal, particularly in the complex figures of Cresside and Pandarus. The poem is regarded as one of his best narrative works, featuring skilled rhyme and profound emotional depth. The House of Fame follows the dream allegory genre, where Chaucer witnesses fame-seeking individuals in a dream. The Legend of Good Women initially aimed to tell tales of virtuous women but was left incomplete, featuring skillful narrative and the first use of heroic couplets in English poetry. In the third stage of Chaucer's work, his greatest accomplishment is the Canterbury Tales. Though some individual tales may have been written slightly earlier, while Chaucer may have drawn inspiration from Boccaccio for the overall concept, the tales are distinctly English in their execution. The poem revolves around 29 pilgrims, including Chaucer himself, who meet at the Tabard Inn in Southwark to journey to Canterbury. These pilgrims represent a diverse range of characters, from a knight to a humble ploughman, and are vividly depicted in the masterful prologue. To pass the time on their pilgrimage, each pilgrim tells two tales on the way to Canterbury and two on the return, resulting in what could have been a vast collection of over 100 tales. However, Chaucer completed only 20 and left 4 unfinished. Despite its incompleteness, the Canterbury Tales is a rich tapestry of humor, pathos, narrative, and dialogue. Most tales are written in decasyllabic or heroic couplets, with a few exceptions such as Chaucer's own Tale of Melibœus and Parson's Tale, which are in prose. Several short poems, including The Lack of Steadfastness and The Complaint of Chaucer to His Empty Purse, are attributed to this stage of Chaucer's work. During his lifetime, Chaucer gained such renown as a poet that many works were later falsely attributed to him. The examples include The Flower and the Leaf, a dream allegory, and The Court of Love. However, it is now established that these poems were not authored by Chaucer. Chaucer's prose tales, namely the Tale of Melibœus and the Parson's Tale, are not considered his most successful works. Both lack engaging style and are filled with tedious moral lessons. However, compared to earlier prose writings, they do show improvement in sentence structure and vocabulary richness. Chaucer's other prose works include an early translation of Boethius and a treatise on the astrolabe, which he wrote to teach his son Lewis about the popular astronomical instrument of the time. Chaucer's poetry holds a unique position in the literature of his time, as he was the first major poet without any significant competition for centuries. He also paved the way for a succession of great literary figures to come. His keen power of observation is a standout trait, likely influenced by his diverse interactions with people from all walks of life. This keen observation is reflected in his vivid description of characters, manners, and places. Chaucer's skill in description relies on lively presentation and judicious selection of details. His descriptions of people, manners, and places are marked by beauty, impressiveness, and humor, even in common scenes like spring mornings or flowery gardens. In terms of humor, Chaucer's work stands out for its variety, ranging from kindly and patronizing to broad and satirical. His humor is often aimed at human weaknesses but is generally good natured and well intended. Though less emphasized, Chaucer's poetry also contains moments of pathos reflecting a humane and genuine sentiment, as seen in tales like The Prioresses or The Legend of Good Women. As a storyteller, Chaucer's narrative style is characterized by a unique blend of complexity and speed. While his stories may have weaknesses common to his time, such as long speeches and unnecessary explanations, they are often brisk, direct, and lively. Chaucer's contributions to poetic technique are notable, particularly his use of the decasyllabic lines and stanzaic forms like the Chaucerian rhyme royal. Though not renowned for lyrical poetry, he demonstrates skill in shorter forms like roundels and ballads.